Well, we're back here. Read and print, they're primitive procedures, and they're not functions. They're not functional. Read is not functional because every time you call it, you get with the same arguments, namely none, you get a different answer, right? So that doesn't satisfy the definition of a function, which is that your answer shouldn't depend on anything except the arguments. And print is not functional because it changes the state of the world. Namely, it changes what's up on your screen. Okay? And anything that does that is not functional. Functions just compute and return values. So even though we're doing functional programming in Scheme, the Scheme interpreter itself is not entirely a functional program. However, the guts of it, eval and apply, are functional. Those things, all they do is they take arguments and they return values, and you can predict the return value from the arguments, except for the fact that you can define variables. Okay, so that's a little bit of non-functionality in evaluating expressions. But these eval and apply, the ones in the calculator, are totally functional because you can't define variables. So the state of the world doesn't affect what they return. So that's an interesting little bit of trivia. Read and print themselves are slightly messy. You know, you have to say, okay, let me look at the next character. Is it a quotation mark? Do this special thing. Is it a space? Do this special thing. Is it an open or closed parenthesis? Do these other special things. And otherwise, sort of accumulate characters until you get to a space or parenthesis. And then look at what you've got. Are they all digits? Da-da-da-da-da, and so on. So it's not a huge intellectual leap the way, you know, higher order functions probably were for you. But it's messy and has a lot of detail to it, and we're not bothering to look at it. We're just taking it as given because it doesn't really repay the effort to read it. But you could read it. You could write read and print in Scheme, given the primitives, the more primitive primitives, read character and print character. And read and print work in terms of those.